they were going to pick off a charity or something like that.
Yeah, you
People are
can't do
mad.
that. You can't just take people's money and give it to a fucking charity.
No.
Not only that, like, who gets to decide what charity? Like, you? Like, there's a lot of charities where you find out how much money actually goes to the cause, and it's very little.
It's disgusting.
They're gross.
It's disgusting.
There's a bunch of charities like that. There's a bunch of, like, causes that a lot of people got behind, and then you find out, like, oh, this is just like a way for people to make money.
I got to be honest with you. I'll help anybody, but it made me deter from giving. I have to do background now because I used to work for these dudes. I didn't know, guys. I fucking didn't know. I needed a job. I'm an open micer. I'm in Seattle. You need a fucking job.
Yeah.
And you sell, police advertising.
Right.
But when I quit, I found out that the guys aren't even working for the cops. They own this company that's called Police Friends or something. And what they do is all they were required to donate is like 7 cents per dollar.
Really?
Meanwhile, these two jerk-offs are driving BMWs that I was working for.
Really?
Yeah, that's all.
7 cents per dollar?
That's it. That's why. And if you start looking into other charities, see what they fucking need to give, and your head will spin.
And then you find out the administrative costs.
Yeah,
and how
they're in
much the people that are
Jamaica
working are
drinking,
making.
and
yeah.
they got a nice office. And Sundays they go to fucking Playa Bowl and jump up and down. So
that's weird, right? Because like they should be able to make something. Like if you're running the Red Cross or you're running,
I don't mind you taking
you
a
should
cut
make
off the
something.
top.
Someone
But
you should get paid.
It better not be more than you're giving those people who you're campaigning for.
There's a website I think where you can look up the different charities and how much they give. And each charity has like a different percentage that they give to the crimes or to the causes rather. And I think some of them are pretty good. You know, some of them they're probably funded by billionaires and shit, and so they have plenty of capital, and they don't necessarily the money that comes in they could give a lot of it to whatever the cause is. Because some people they'll fund a philanthropic venture like that. They'll, that's like it's a good tax write-off, and it's also a good way for them to feel good about their money. Like Jeff Bezos' wife, his ex-wife does that. She's worth billions, and she donates a shitload of money. Like she sets up stuff, and like that's a nice thing. That's a nice thing when you see people that are like really wealthy like that and very charitable. But you got to be careful. You got to know where your money's going. You got to know what you're doing.
I don't mean to be a fucking, some of these people have to donate for tax.
Yes. No, you're being honest. They do. They donate for taxes.
A check, but you go, oh yeah, but they're worth $200 million. It's still, So.
Elon, he has given a lot of taxes, or excuse me, he's given a lot of charity money away this year. He gave something like $6 billion away. Like that thing that he was supposed to do about world hunger, they think that he actually did contribute that exact amount. I haven't asked him about it, but there's an article about it, about what he had said he was going to do.
A large number of shares worth like $6 billion or something.
He donated that. That guy's got shit piles of money. Like, it's preposterous.
I donate money from my Patreon every month.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good for you.
A little bit. When I started the Patreon, it was to help other comics, during the pandemic that weren't working.
That's why you did?
Yeah, a little bit of that. Just help people out. And then I just take a little, my daughter loves that St. Jude stuff.
Oh, okay, that's a good charity,
so that's
right?
a good charity because they took care of my niece when she had the cancer.
Oh, yeah?
So those are the things.
Well, you got to think, even a charity that, like, say 10% of the money gets to the cause, that's still 10% of the money that wouldn't have gotten to the cause if those people didn't work at it. So it gets kind of weird, right? Like, there's a lot of charities that I'm sure if you looked at the number, like how much of the money that comes in goes to administrative costs. Well, administrative costs are real. They really do cost something. Like how else is it going to get paid, right? Like, what percentage is normal though?
But
like,
no,
what's a reasonable percentage?
All right, if you have a nonprofit, this is why I get pissed off. Okay, if you have a nonprofit, I got no beef with giving Joe Rogan a percentage of what I donate off the charity work. And you know what? The people who should be working for you should also be doing volunteer work. If they get paid for 10 hours, they should do 20 hours. Stuff like that. So it's all volunteer from A to Z.
What do you mean?
So
the charity people should be doing
they should be,
for free?
You should be giving 10 hours a week to that.
If you're working at a charity, I think you should get paid. I don't think you should have to do it for free. I don't think that makes sense.
Like 20 hours and you work for 40. You get something out of it. But you donate some of your time also.
It
You're
depends.
retired. You're retired. You need to get the
Maybe.
fuck out of the house. You know, stuff like that I could understand.
I think it's reasonable to assume that they can do good and get paid. I think it's just they probably just need more people donating. It's just I don't know how much is normal. Like, what's a normal amount where a charity takes? Where it's let's Google that, Jamie. What is a reasonable amount that a charity takes to administrative costs versus to the actual charitable cause? What do you guess? What's normal?
1,200.
No, I mean at a like percentage. What percentage goes to the cause?
I feel
Like if you donate $100.
Well, we have to be. You know, you have rent. You
Right.
have you have all that.
Yeah.
So you have administrative fees. So I feel 50%. Just to make
That
me
makes
sleep
sense.
at night. I could sleep at
50%
night.
makes sense.
If I give you 100, 50 is going to go to the kids. I'm in.
That makes sense.
50s for your office and all that stuff. I'm in. I could live with that.
What do you think it is, Jamie?
I mean, I've already seen the numbers, but I can't. Just in that time when you guys talking, I couldn't get a good answer. I was seeing anything from 15 to 75% for different. Like 15 is average admin cost.
Why don't you just Google this phrase? What percentage of charitable donations actually go to the cause?
It's giving me the same answer for what I.
So it
Googled.
just varies so much?
Yeah, it again, it depends. And then
What one gets 75% to the cause?
it says the typical charity spends 75% of its budget on programs. So then like museums are considered in a charity in some situations. So like they might have to spend more for particular reasons. Like they might have security guards they have to pay, and other charities
Right.
don't. You know,
Right. That's a good point.
have to
Well,
store all those.
it's like
payments.
Hollywood accounting. They're going to make shit up.
Hollywood accounting is wild.
Hollywood accounting is wild, so they're going to make shit up.
When
So
you hear people argue like in court about like how much money a movie made, you're like, what? Like we lost money on this movie. Like that movie made $2 billion. Like what the fuck are you talking about? They find a way. They factor in advertising for other movies and shit into their budgets. Like I think they do some weird shit with numbers that infuriates people. I'm glad I never had to experience that. Arguing with a bunch of lawyers about how much money your movie actually made versus how much you're supposed to get off the back end. And
They were arguing that with the Matrix movie that came out. Like the people, I think they were